What's going on? My name is Dr. Julian Penaranda. I'm a physical therapist and a doctor of physical therapy, and I'm the owner of Atlas Hoops. My first connection growing up with basketball was really Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago, so I have a lot of Chicago influence in terms of just the gritty red, black nature of the championship breed of Chicago Bulls. But I moved to Vegas in 2015. The plan was to move to California. Well, I moved to California, but ironically enough, my car actually broke down here when I was traveling from Chicago to LA. The plan was to stay in LA, but my car broke down here, and so lived in LA for a year, and after a year in LA, because of it being too expensive and because of schooling actually, I moved out here. But moving forward, I played at Trinity International University, which is an NAIA Division II school. I ended up getting a scholarship there. Unfortunately, between my freshman and sophomore year, I tore my ACL, and that's where I was introduced to physical therapy. I thought it was a blessing in disguise because it introduced me to physical therapy and introduced me to be more aware of my body. Continuing with my academics, I ended up moving to Chicago, where I went to the University of Illinois at Chicago, earned my bachelor's in kinesiology. I saved up, I lived out there with my now wife, kind of just did the whole LA thing, and I think the universe just believed in my story, and it brought me into physical therapy school. It brought me back out here to Las Vegas, and I've been here since. I got my doctorate in physical therapy, and so I worked for about 2 years in the clinic, in the hospital, kind of just grinded it out. And then COVID had hit, and I was very, very fortunate where my manager of the physical therapy clinic that I was working at allowed me to work there. And so I saved up a lot of money with it. And during that time, I opened up actually several clinics for that manager and owner. So I got a little bit of experience with it. And so I was actually training and working with different kids from like Centennial Hills, some of the kids that I know from Coronado. And we were just working out of this small little, very, very small little garage where I basically told myself, I want to do this. This is my goal right here. So I set my goal to actually owning just half of a gym, literally half of this. And my wife was basically told me, you should get a bigger space. It was April of 2021 where I received the keys here. And I was told that I would have all of my equipment, so that's hoops, flooring, basketballs, chairs, all that kind of stuff. I was supposed to have that a month after I'd opened the gym. It took about 4 months. Yes, so I was very, very, very delayed. I was very worried. I didn't know where money was coming from. Again, fortunately, I talked to my boss at that time, and thankfully she was holding my hand the entire time. And she was able to keep me above water in terms of allowing me to work while I was building this place up. In July 4th actually of 2021, opened up. My friends were actually the first people that came here. They were like, hey Julian, you have a gym, nothing's open. Can we rent out the gym? And next thing you know it, rented out the gym. Other people found out, and my business started right then and there. So being Filipino American, I think that's one of the biggest things that I hold on my sleeve. You don't see a lot of us in the NBA, WNBA, really a lot of us in basketball, but growing up basketball, I tell a lot of people this, basketball is in our DNA. It's like nursing, it's like the medical field. Be a nurse, be a doctor, yada, yada. But I think basketball has always been brewed in me since I was a very small kid. And I've been influenced by my best friends, a lot of people back home in Chicago, that basketball is a thing, and it can be a thing if you really want it to be. I try to keep it as subtle as possible, but there is a lot of Filipino influence in this gym, going from the purple here. It's not because it's the Lakers. It's because my grandma is a huge, rest in peace. One of my fondest memories was her going to her backyard, growing a lot of Filipino violets during the summer, and her yelling at us to come inside, you're gonna get too dark, or come inside, you need to take a nap. But no, I wanna play basketball. Just one more shot, just one more game. One more game led to 3 more hours, and her continually yelling at us to come into the house to take a nap or eat her food and all that kind of stuff. After COVID, the issue with a lot of the basketball space was there wasn't any basketball space. You know, there were a lot of schools that were being very, very selective in terms of who they were allowing in the gym. You know, you had your capacity limits during COVID, and so with my space being one of the newer spaces, you know, I don't want to say I took advantage, but I feel like I opened up at the right time. And so with the lack of resources and basketball space here, people found out about it. They found out about the process of, you know, renting, you know, half court, full court. And from there, about 3 or 4 months in, we were just getting a lot of people. So I think with the future, I would like to open up more gyms. I think having one big space or one huge basketball court would be awesome. Overall, what I want to be able to do is to build a brand that is able to withstand really any sport. You know, basketball is my story. I want to build Atlas where we can dive into different sports. You know, take whoever partners I have in the future, whoever enjoys sports and that particular sport, let's figure out ways where we can collaborate and build Atlas into it. One of my things and one of my experiences of being here is I want to grow with the city. So I want to be able to grow Atlas as a brand and make it an inclusively exclusive brand and gym, or basketball gym here in Las Vegas. And I'm hoping to do that within the next 2 or 3 years. So we're 2025, 2027, 2028 is where I really want to build the brand so everyone in the basketball community knows about it. Everyone on the West Coast knows about it. And hey, I want to come here during the summer. I want to rent the gym one time, you know, with the homies. I want to spend a bachelor party here. I want to do this, do that. I want to be able to have a production team here. So I want to be able to build that by 2027, 2028. Fingers crossed, the projection within the next 10 years is to get several gyms in several different cities. I'm Dr. Julian. I'm a physical therapist and doctor of physical therapy, and I am the owner of Atlas Hoops.